Social Studies Online CBSE. Today, we are going to deal with chapter number 2 of Geography, Land and Soil. We all people settle on a surface area of the earth which is solid in structure, that is called land. So, before starting the chapter, I would like to introduce you with certain points that we are going to learn in this lesson. Let's learn pattern and population distribution. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the land use, the pattern of the land, and the population distribution as per the pattern of the land which is available for the settlement. Factors affecting land use. So, what are the factors that will be affecting the use of land? Land degradation and conservation. These 3 points will be covered in these video session. Moving ahead, we will start with the chapter Land. Land is a solid portion of the earth on which we live. It usually covers of 30% of the total earth, or we can say total globe. It is indispensable to use as it supports all life forms, that is, plants and animals, directly or indirectly. It supports economic activities of human beings. It is on these resources, that means land, that infrastructures such as settlements, transportation, etc. are laid out. It provides humans with all sort of comforts. Classification of land. If you want to classify land, there are various criterias. The first criteria which comes is on the basis of relief. The PPT slide which is shown on your screen gives you a rough or a detailed example of the same thing, that how land has been classified on the basis of relief. Now here relief means the structure of land. The first thing which you see here, my dear children, is mountain. The second one is plateau, and the third one which is called plain. In your previous classes, you people might have learnt about the various structures of land. It may be mountains, it is plateaus and plains. These are the three main structures of land. In these main structures, land has been classified. The area which is called mountain comprises of rocky region, plateau, rocky region, as well as you will find a sort of soil there, then plains with suitable climatic conditions for farming, and it is more densely populated than the area with steep slopes, that is mountains, and low-lying area that is prone to flooding, and deserts. So land has been classified into three types. On the basis of relief, it is divided into three parts: mountains, plateaus, and plains. The second criteria of the land is on the basis of fertility. On the basis of fertility, land is again divided into two types: barren and rocky land. Barren land is the land which is unuseful, unproductive, not at all useful for agriculture. In Hindi, we call it as Banjar Zameen. And rocky land again, which belongs to the mountainous regions, full of stones, full of rocks. Again, it is unproductive land. Most of the lands in the mountainous regions are unproductive because of the rocks present in the area. The second part of the land on the basis of fertility is fertile. or fertile land that is highly populated because of the agricultural activities, because of the settlement, because of the climate, because of availability of water, means all the basic necessities are fulfilled from the plain regions having fertile land. The diagram shows the picture shown in the slide gives you a imaginative image of fertile and barren land. Image number 1, you can see a small plant growing in a sand or soil. Also, you can observe the color and texture of the soil. The color of fertile soil is black as it contains humus, and the barren land, which is lead, which is not useful, which is unproductive, you can see the texture and color of the soil, which is not containing humus as it is yellow in color. The third part or the third categorization of the land is on the basis of development. How land has been developed, what type of development are done on the land. So again it is divided into two parts: urban land and rural land. Urban land which supports industrial economy, and rural land which supports agricultural activities. Urban, the city area, you will find more development in that area. As more development is there, availability of the resources which are essential for the livelihood of people, you will find more in that area. Industrial area has been developed. As industrial area has been developed, transportation and communication has also been developed. And rural area, which is villages, you will find more agricultural land as compared to the rural area. So in this sort of development, land is divided into two parts: village and city area, or rural and urban. Urban means city one, and rural means village. Then on third or fourth categorization is on the basis of ownership. If I own a land, that is 1 acre of land, if I am owning that land myself, or people who belong to me, my friends, my family members can utilize the land which I am owning. But if there is a land which is owned by the government, the whole community will take care of that land. The whole community can use and utilize that land. I will like to give you a simple example here. There is a playground kept untouched. It is well maintained for the sake of the whole community or the colony. That is called as community land. If I own a plot beside to my home, that is my personal plot, and none of the person can come and use that plot for his or her purposes or needs. That is personal land and community land. Private land and community land. Private land is owned by a person or an individual, or a community land is owned by the government or a group of community. Coming to the next part, again into the terms of land use, lands can be divided into various categories such as arable land. The picture shows arable land, which means cultivable, where cultivation can be done in an excess amount. Then comes pasture land, where it is a grazing field for animals. You can see animals, they are being grazed on the land. That is called pasture. Forest land, the area occupied by forest is called as forest land. Fallow land, the land which is kept untouched for a season, is called as fallow land. Cultivable waste, this is the land which is untouched, unused for several years, is called as cultivable waste. Barren land, unproductive land such as deserts, these are the types of land. Non-agricultural land, now the land which is not used for agriculture, such as mining and settlements, which is used for mining. This is the land which is used for mining. I have given you the picture of mining here. Again, non-agricultural land, you see settlements here. It means human settlements are there. Now, in these all lands, let me clear you certain points which may be asked in several examinations. That what is fallow land? In our country, India, we follow three main basic cultivation practices: Rabi or Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. These are the three major seasons of cultivation. Land is kept unproductive for a particular period of time, that is one season. That land is called as fallow land. Now, why these things are considered? Why these fallow lands are kept? Why these lands are kept unproductive? Why these lands are kept unused? It is true that the land kept unused for a certain season will retain its fertility and gain its fertility back. So to retain the fertility back to the soil, it is kept unused. Cultivable waste. This is a land which is kept unused for several years. For many years, like 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years, more than 15 years, the land may be kept unused, unproductive, non-agricultural. So this is the thing where land is unused for a several years. So this is the difference between fallow land and cultivable waste. Do not mix up these two things with the questions asked. Now, what are factors that affect the land use? Various physical and human factors determine the type of land which are used in area. So there are physical factors. If you want to use a land, we will see the land which is more convenient for our use. In spite of that, we will not be moving ahead with the land whatever is available. If I give you an example, that if I give you a land in the mountainous region which is unused, which is not at all useful for us, we will not use that land. For that reason, the population or the density of the population will also vary. So the land which is useful in all manners like agricultural settlements etc is called as is the useful land. Land degradation. What are the factors that degrade the land? So excessive exploitation of land because of intensive farming. Let me explain you what is intensive farming. Farming done in a particular area or a small region having higher population is called as intensive farming. Small region is cultivated, small region is brought under the agricultural practices. So these small area will have to fulfill the demand of the greater population. That's why intensive farming practices are done here. The land is not kept fallow for a single season also. Deforestation, cutting down of trees, which causes desertification. Now, how desertification is caused? The roots of the plants or trees hold the soil firmly. As soon as there is deforestation, the roots, the soil gets loosened up and it gets eroded by the eroding agents such as wind and water. Soil erosion, then settlements, these are also the cause of degradation. Practicing shifting cultivation. Nowadays, shifting cultivation is not practiced, but earlier this shifting cultivation was practiced in several tribes. As these tribes used to move from one place to another, they used to cut down a small plot of the forest. There was deforestation. Then they used to plow the land. They used to sow the seeds. They used to reap the seeds. Now, they used to reap their growings, and they used to move ahead, leaving that land barren. Using of toxic fertilizers or industrial effluents which are left in the land will also degrade the land. So these are the factors for land degradation which is on your screen. The deforestation, cutting down of the trees, overgrazing of the animals. Definitely overgrazing means rooting up the plants from the soil, due to which the soil becomes loosened up. Overuse of chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers will also damage the soil or the fertility of the soil. Climate change, again, this is a most important factor which causes land degradation. Over irrigation, excessive use of water, Excessive use of water will flow away the surface area of the soil, which is fertile in nature, and the soil will become eroded and the barren. Shifting agriculture, etc. Land conservation. How will you conserve the land? It is necessary for its optimum utilization for speedy economic development. Proper land use planning should be done by taking into consideration the nature and quality of the land and the need of the community. Any modification in land used should be done after the detailed survey. There are certain practices which can be used for land conservation. They are as afforestation means planting of tree, land reclamation to reclaim the land into its original form, that means keeping the land fallow for a season or to keep it as a cultivable waste. Regulated use of pesticides and fertilizers, that is, the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides should be avoided so that land should not degrade. Planting of shelter belts to the area where there is a high amount of flow of wind is available, means the areas near seashores or the mountainous region from where wind flows into a greater velocity. Shelter belts such as trees should be planted on the borders of the field so that they should stop the velocity of the wind. Avoid overgrazing. Overgrazing should be avoided so that the animals which are grazing over the land, they should not eat plants or the grasses which are available into an excessive amount so that soil's surface soil should not run away. These are all the common methods to conserve the land. This was all about the land portion.